second take. This is rare that I'm doing a second take, but my dog, he kept barking, and he's still barking, but I've had to put him in the room, which I feel bad about. But this is on, people ask me, what is the meaning behind the term Death Coach Syndicate? It says in my biography, the world's first demotivational speaker. This name came to me in a dream, strange. I'm not saying it was of God or anything like that, but just stuck. It sounded cool, I guess. But I spent 3 years, 4 years actually, even maybe close to 5. Like, I started off, my life was in a bad position, and that I'm not going to get into detail about that, but of course the natural thing I did is I seeked self-development, self-help, mastermind type of stuff. Started looking up on YouTube all these people and kind of convoluting my mind, saturating it, thinking what it was positive. And then I just started seeing patterns in all these people. They were just kind of regurgitating the same situation in a different package. And it just made me actually dive into deconstructing what they were saying. And like, oh, okay. And never putting in like the situational part of it. And what I mean by that is I did a lot of research on these people, like actually let's just say I did some investigative journaling. And they always say things like, if you're not rich and rare, you're not a man, this, and that. And they never give into factor. They never indicate or expose that a lot of them, like 99% of them, maybe even 100%. I haven't seen one that didn't start with some type of capital and some type of advantage in life. I mean, of course, dude, if you're in prison, you're going to get ripped. Or you're not, yeah, that's a choice, and I admire the ones that do, but you got nothing but time. It's easy to start off of that and then come out here and work on that with actual, more resources, and that's good, I'm not dogging anything like that. The accountability groups are good if you want to pay for some mastermind. There is some benefits to that, but my whole point is everything is out there on the internet. You can gain this information, and we're all individuals. So a lot of people, I've looked at their plans. They're like, hey, we have this mastermind, we'll give you, and they give you like a simple macro nutritional plan and a workout plan, which is all well, but in that industry, everything is different. Every single person is different. Their work schedule is different, families, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not discouraging. You should still find time to work out. You should still find time to take care of yourself. But everyone has dietary restrictions, plan, or whatever, and times they can simply eat. I personally have done the research, and this is another video. It is not absolutely necessary for you to eat your body weight in protein. For one, who can afford that? And if you can, again, let's not talk about, again, I'm not going to go into the studies on the kidney damage and all this it does. That type of diet plan is meant for someone that's a high-performing individual. And I just don't know why people fall into that. I saw one, it's like eat 12 meals a day. Each one was like 25 grams of protein or something. Like, that's insane and ridiculous and too much eating, way too much in itself. And so do your own research. If if you feel you need, like if someone needs to go to the gym and needs a personal trainer, do it if it motivates you more, or you need to pay for some, do it by all means. But also don't compare yourself and put yourself to these people's standards. There's a lot of factors in. A lot of these guys are doing these plans, and on top of it, they have enhancers, TRT, steroids, which is kind of the same thing, and other factors, supplements they're taking to cause them to look the way they are. And whatever, to each their own, different strokes for different folks. But as far as yourself, and this again, the Death Coach Syndicate, I know I put a lot of guitar videos, but this is strictly because of the name. And it's just Come on, folks, everything. And it goes across the board. It's not just anyone that has this one way fits all, one size fits all, one approach. My approach is the best. I've seen is all these people just regurgitate the same information, different packages, and sell it to people. They're snake oil salesmen, a lot of them, and they're profiting off something that you can find on social media. There's plenty of people at the gym, if you can correlate schedules, that will happily help you out. You'd be surprised how much people, like those big guys at the gym that seem intimidated. I've even asked them some questions, and they were happy to ask it. That's their life. That's a part of their identity, and that's where they would happily help someone out. You'd be surprised, and do it for free. Again, I don't discourage. I'm not saying that they're full of it or they don't have good information. They do, but also their information. Everyone is different. Everyone has a different. Their body metabolizes different. Certain foods, I notice with me, I don't know why, but I seem to get more bloated with chicken and beef. I do well, and fish I do well. That's me. Other people live and die by the chicken. Just that. Am I going to tell you, oh, go with beef? No, that's my experience. I can't eat. The only thing I think I'm allergic to in this world is tofu, soy. I swell up. Am I going to tell someone else? I mean, I know a lot about soy, and that's a different story, but am I going to tell other folks, oh, don't do that, it's going to make you bloat? No, that's my experience. That's how my body reacts. Some people, I could eat beans and be fine, even with the high carbs in it. I can eat certain things and be okay. But I'm doing a little thing. My life's been hard lately, and I've been out of work for about a month. I chose to put myself in, as a consequence, I'm doing these videos because it's something I've always wanted to do. I mean, I'm cover a vast of subjects. I'm not just a dumb guitar player. I will be recording an album. I'm going to refilm that process. That's kind of just more of a leisure thing. But I've removed myself from the gym. I'm stopping weights. I've been lifting weights for about 2.5 years now, pretty consistently too. And I'm going to dial my eating habits, but I'm going to do calisthenics, body resistance training. I'm going to call this the pandemic isolation workout and whatnot. I've noticed, again, the Death Coach Syndicate, this is the whole mission of this, going into spirituality, talking about many various subjects, but on this subject, please, folks, whoever sees this, if anyone sees it, if you have any questions, do your own research. There's so much convolution, and do it with discretion, and check it. Everyone says, you see that stupid guy, he's all ripped and he's hanging on the pull-up bar and he's doing a curl exercise, and then he says, I get ripped, and he shows him eating a donut, and I don't do cardio. Well, cardio is good for getting your wind up. You should never get discouraged from doing cardio. What I mean, wind up is expanding your lungs, helping you for other exercises. Is it going to maybe there's better ways to lose weight and whatnot? Oh, of course, you're not going to deny that, but that guy also isn't telling you that he's on high amounts of TRT and the other supplements like I mentioned earlier. Stop looking up to these people like they are superhuman just because they have the results you want. You can get the results they want, and you can get the results they want with all the enhancements and be even better, Look up micro, macro nutrition, all that good stuff. Stop relying on these people, unless, of course, you think you need that edge of motivation and accountability, by all means. But you can get that for free on YouTube anyway. You don't even need this. You don't need any of that approach. So that is the story behind the name. And then, projects I will be doing. I'm going to do this. I've already started for about a week. I'm going to kind of down the eating habits a little bit more. But I want to see, I'm basically going to be doing a copious amount of push-ups every day. I want to see that. I've always wondered why people are like, oh, you got to rest this, and that. I took out the pull-up bar because it's actually warping my frame. So I'm going to have to figure out another way to do that. But I'm mainly focusing on just doing variation in push-ups and see how it affects me after a month. put my body through hell so that you don't have to. I know I've seen other people do the challenge, but I'm going to break it down more intricately to see. And, body resistance exercises such as squats and stuff. I want to see how it is kind of working the whole body, full body every day, but not like overdoing it. At least I hope not. And if I start feeling, then I'll stop and I'll, take precautions and take necessary rest and whatnot. I'm going to get better about these video qualities once I get a better setup. But again, the whole point of this too, I want to look back one day and be like, I started with what I got. These are just some lights up here. This is probably a 7-year-old laptop. This is considered by all means a cheap condenser mic, but probably the newest thing I'm working with. My phone, iPhone 11, seems to be crashing right now. So that's why the quality of my videos are the way they are. Should I not? That's like saying, oh, all your friends have Lamborghinis and you have a Civic that is running, but maybe it's not running the best like theirs. And that's like them telling you, oh, you should be embarrassed, and you all work at the same job 15 miles away, and they tell you, you should just walk or take the bus to work. Well, why would you do that when you have a car? Work with what you got. It's a time thing. That's all I got for now. Again, this is a rant on. I want to do like kind of a clarity of what's going on. I'm getting with the music. I'm doing something I've never done. I've been playing music for about 20 years, but I've never worked with musicians. And I'm going to record, try to even network. This whole point of this Death Coach Syndicate is stepping out of my comfort zone. I want the lion's share myself, and I'm going to try to get there, but I'm also tired of working these jobs that don't benefit me, and understand that I do have to function within that society. I have to function within, I need currency to sustain what I got. That's another story for another time, but yeah, I'll put this out later this week as a premiere. God bless.